Hi YouTube, my name is Alan Printup. I'm a realtor in Southwest Florida, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the current state of the market in Southwest Florida. And what I mean by Southwest Florida, that's Lee County and Collier County. There are other areas in Southwest Florida, but those are the two primary areas that two primary counties that I cover. So from Cape Coral on the north side all the way to Marco Island. I do get out of those areas from time to time: Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, Arcadia, Babcock Ranch, um, Alva, LaBelle. So I do get outside um, from time to time. But today, since the new market data has come out for the month of August, I wanted to talk about the data, the stats of Lee County and Collier County specific. So jumping right into it with both feet, we want to talk about single family homes in the Cape Coral, Fort Myers MSA. Now that's all of Lee County essentially, from Boca Grande, all the islands, all the way down to Bonita Springs. So in the month of August, 1,185 closed sales was down 3.3% from the year of 2024. Cash sales, 333 of those paid in cash, up 1.5% year over year. And that comprised 28% of total sales, which is up nearly 5% year over year. Median sales price, 370,000, down 5% from 390 in 2024. Average sales price of 477,000 and change, down nearly 11% from 535,000 of August of 24. Currently getting about 93.3% of list price, down 2% from August of 24. Median time to contract, 64 days, up 16.4%, and median time to sell, 100 days, which is up 2% from 2024. So we are taking a little bit longer to get houses under contract and sold. A little less on the negotiated final sales price, being 93.3% of list versus 95.2. So a little bit more negotiating happening on price. Sellers are coming off their price a little bit more. We still have overpriced properties in the market in Lee County. That we do. We had 1,489 new listings come to market in August of 25, down 10% from August of 24, 1,658. Total pending inventory up 3.3%, 1,527. So we put more under contract than came to the market, so that's moving the needle in the right direction from a market performance standpoint. Total active inventory, that's all single family homes in Lee County, 7,704 currently on the market, active, not under contract, in the month end of August 2025. Now, I know this is September 25th. The data from the Florida Realtors, that's the state level, takes about 3 weeks-ish to come out. And our total month supply of inventory for Lee County at the end of August 2025 is 6.9 months, which is up 21% over August 2024 at 5.7 months. So get a little bit more supply. We're putting a little bit more under contract, a little less new listings coming on, so it's starting to kind of work its way out. We've been in a perpetual price decline in Lee County since late spring, early summer of 2022, and then we all know Hurricane Ian hit at the end of September of 22, and that just, I wouldn't really say it accelerated it when Q1 of 23 started in January and February, but we had a lot of damaged homes, a lot of distressed properties from that hurricane still selling in Q1 of 23, so that kind of changed the dynamic of the market a little bit. It took a minute for the market to recover, to get all that damaged inventory out, and then we had homes getting repaired and then coming to the market. So as far as Lee County, in my opinion, it's doing quite well. Like I said, 3 years of kind of a precipitous decline in property value. Prices have been dropping for 3 years. Don't see that stopping. In the, it will stop, but it's not going to stop tomorrow. One thing I do a lot is I stay in this data all the time. I've got running data that kind of updates daily. I do look at that, but I also look at a lot of other economic factors that affect the market rather than just what we're seeing here of what inventory we have, what it's selling for, percentage of list price. I look at everything else too, carrying costs, insurances, taxes, CPI and PPI, which is the rate of inflation from a production standpoint and a retail standpoint. And then also the stock market, the 10-year Treasury bonds, and then anything that our federal administration is talking about. So that is Lee County. Let's jump over to the Naples, Immokalee, Marco Island MSA. That's all of Collier County. That includes Lower Bonita Springs, all the way down to Marco Island, Naples, Golden Gate, Immokalee, all those areas. A little bit different performance in that county, a little bit. In Collier County, single family homes, we closed 350 total properties, up 12% year over year, 12.5%. So the needle moving in the right direction there. 164 of those were cash. That's up 28%. So cash buyers are back. And that comprised of nearly 47% of all sales. So a lot more cash sales happening in Collier County versus Lee County. The median sales price, $767,500, up 3.7% from $740,000. And the average sales price, just under $1.38 million. That's up 12.6%. So getting a little bit more on the properties per price. We have an uptick in cash sales. And August is typically a slower month because that's the back to school month. It's usually a little bit slower for us, and so is September, because September is usually the high point of risk for hurricanes in Southwest Florida. And we've had a fantastic year. We haven't had a hurricane yet. Knock on wood. There's a couple things that they're watching in the Gulf right now, but it doesn't look like it's really going to do anything, risk any danger to us. But it's always a threat in Florida. 6 months out of the year, we're looking for a hurricane, and 6 months out of the year we don't get any rain. So, but we got subtropical temperatures. We mow grass year round, swim in the pool year round, fish year round, go to the beach year round. So it's not uncommon for it to be in the upper 80s to low 90s on Thanksgiving. So back to Collier County. Total volume dollars sold, 482.2 million, up 26%. So yeah, that's just a testament of a little bit higher price that we're closing sales at. However, getting 89.9% of the list price, so it's more heavily negotiated, and that's down 3% year over year. Medium time to contract being 83 days, that's up 38%. 121 days to sale, up 16.3% year over year. So just like Lee County, it's taking longer to get them under contract and to get them closed. New listings to the market in the month of August, 452 was up 3%. Total pending inventory, 510. So we got more under contract than came to the market. So just like Lee County, it's kind of the needle moving in the right direction there. Total active inventory of single-family homes in Collier County, 2,743. That's up 11%. So we took on more inventory than this time last year. And then total month supply of inventory is 7.6 months, up 15%. So when we get the months of supply, at 7.6, we're heavy in a buyer's market. So buyers are negotiating a little more aggressively. They're asking for closing costs and concessions. we see that a lot of that in the lower price points. Upper price points, not so much. And Collier County's got a lot of upper price points, 7-figure and above. But on our lower price points, we do see a lot of buyers asking for that. And the luxury properties that I've sold in the past couple months, we didn't ask for any concessions, but we negotiated vigorously on price. Because I'm looking, at market futures, and it's not anybody else's data but mine. This is the math that I do on my own, and that's what we're looking at. So, and just like in Lee County, Collier County's in a precipitous, valuation decline, but we were getting more per property in Collier County, so the pendulum is swinging a little bit different than in Lee County. And everywhere in Southwest Florida, whether you're looking in Sarasota County, Charlotte County, Lee, Collier, doesn't matter. Each county is performing a little bit differently, and each area within the county of each county is performing a little differently. So if you're looking to sell, we will take that down to a kind of a micro level of what your particular area or neighborhood, zip code area, neighborhood, would have it be. And we'll see what that performance is looking like from a market standpoint as a whole in your area, and then we'll come up with our game plan on pricing strategy and how we present that property to potential buyers. And same thing with the buyers. We sit down and we look at the same thing but in reverse, so we can plan our negotiating strategy, and also picking out the houses that we think we might be able to get down to a reasonable price. Because there's plenty of properties that are still overpriced. And some of that's evergreen pricing. Those sellers, it's an investment. They don't have to sell, don't really need to sell. If somebody's willing to pay this, they're willing to take it. So that's an evergreen price. So that's the data. The market has got its challenges. I completely admit that. A lot of price cuts happening because a lot of properties came onto the market overpriced. Like I said, it's in my neighborhood, in my particular neighborhood too. So it's everywhere. So if you are looking to sell, listen to your broker. If you don't like what that broker says, find you a different one and find out what they say. There are some brokers out there just going to tell you anything you want to hear. Yeah, that sounds like a good price. And then 30 days later, you're asking, why am I not getting any showings? Like, well, we need to drop the price. And there's brokers like me that are going to come in and tell you the truth straight up from the beginning. It's like, look, here's what I'm seeing, and I'm going to show it to you, and we're going to walk through it, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what we should do. So, and it might not be a number that you want to hear, but it will be the truth. I promise you that. And I'm not one of those just going to set unrealistic expectations, overpromise and underdeliver. That is not me. That is not my business plan or my business model, and I will not do it. I will not engage like that. So, looking to buy, same thing. You're going to get, the honest truth. I've got some real good mortgage brokers that I work with that share my same philosophy and approach to business and client experience, and that's the reason why I work with them, because they're not afraid to tell anybody the truth, and because they want to make sure that expectations are correct. Until next time. Be good. Good luck.